everyone, Rob Kearns, Kearns Guitars. I am excited about this one. You gotta see this body. It is, I gotta say, it looks really nice. I was watching Brad Ango's video today, and he was talking about camera work and changing angles and stuff, and getting really close up to the camera and such. Nobody wants to see that, trust me. I am fine where I am. I don't need to be any closer, trust me, you don't want to see this. Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, all that stuff. It makes a difference, it really does. It helps me keep going with this, knowing that other people are out there enjoying it. But I'm gonna shut up now. I'm really excited about this. Here, check it out. This is the body. I hope you guys enjoy it.
And right off the bat, looks like I should have moved that cord. I use a Forstner bit just because it's got a flat bottom. The more material you remove this way, the less your router has to fight. Then you just follow the temple with the router, and it gives you a nice smooth edge. This was an extremely long video, so that's why most of it is in fast forward. I took about 6 hours of footage and crammed it into 35 minutes or so. Look at that big old router gouge in the front there. That's alright, it'll sand out later. I plan to make this style guitar again. That's why I made those templates. Make everything consistent. Here, I'm just going to remove the bulk of the material with a grinder with a sandpaper flap attachment. It's a 40 grit, I believe. And right here, my cameraman's getting a little tipsy. And here we go. Whoop. That amount of dust was with my dust extraction. I just want to get through the walnut and get down to the sapele. I'd really like to take this time to thank everybody who's been following me along on this. It means a lot. And if you haven't yet, hit the like, subscribe, and share this. The horns here I haven't really finalized yet. I just wanted to grind most of it down. Kind of winging this as I go here. The only thing I absolutely knew was the walnut needed to be ground down to the sapele. And here I'm going to angle the walnuts down to meet the sapele. And then I have to carve the Celtic design in the sapele. Usually there's a guard on these 4-inch grinders. I had to take it off when I was doing my test pieces because it kept hitting on the wood. So don't do this at home. See, there's a one side roughed in. Got the sapele area. That's where the Celtic design is going to be, and then the walnut just slopes down to it. As you can see, this is an extremely dusty job here. I had extraction on and all the windows open. Just gonna get rid of that router gouge right there. The two areas right up there in the horn we saw earlier, and that part right there, my router must be getting dull. Either dull or hungry, one or the other. This tip was really finicky. I wanted to get both of those angles to meet at the center line. There's a rough shape right there. Just going back and cleaning up the curves, it was a lot easier to do with the grinder. And then after the grinder, still go back with sandpaper and chisels. And this Sapele, I didn't want it flat. I want it angled. So it drops from where it meets the walnut to the edges, probably about a quarter of an inch, so it's sloped. So a lot of this is me just trying to get that slope. You'll see me stop and feel it, because you can feel things a lot better than you can see them sometimes. I'll monkey around with that tip for probably 10-15 minutes. A little bit of sanding, get rid of that router gouge up at the horn there. Trying to finalize that tip. Line it up perfectly with the center line. Yeah, my spindle sander busted, I believe, on the last episode, so I had to do a makeshift spindle sander. Had a chisel and I wrapped a piece of sandpaper around it. It worked. There, I trued up a scrap piece of pine, so it had a 90-degree angle on it. Put the sandpaper in there to try to get that corner. And trimming off any irregular bumps with the chisel. And then I'll go back with a card scraper and finalize that nice crisp corner. There, I'm doing the angle on this Sapele like I did on the other side. Right up by this horn, there was a burn mark from the grinder I was trying to get out there. And in here, I noticed after I trimmed up my neck that it wasn't quite fitting into the neck pocket. The neck was a little too small. It wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be. So what I did is I grabbed some scrap cutoffs from when the whole thing was solid with the sapele and the walnut on top, and I found a couple areas that looked like they matched where the neck pocket is, and I just cut some slivers off. I'm gonna glue them back in place, and then once that's dry, I'll go hit it with a router again. And I don't have a clamp that fits in there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that piece of wood, measure it so it's a tight fit, and then use that as a clamp, put outside pressure on both sides. Then a little bit of a turn. Let's snug everything up. And here what I'm doing is gonna mark out for the back control cavity plate. Once I get the shape that I need right here, which is what I'm figuring out, I'm going to use that 1/4-inch piece that I cut off and make the back plate out of it. So what I did is I drew in on the body where I wanted my knobs and my switch. And then here I'm just trying to design something up around it so it'll look halfway decent. And I'll have enough room to do all the wiring. The only thing is, right about now, I totally forgot about my jack. I want that jack to come in from the bottom, but I have to redesign it here. I'm gonna flatten it off at the bottom so I got room to run that jack up through the back. The pots were a little tight, so I'm gonna space them out a little more. Yep, that's where my jack's going. I like it. And then when I cut through the tape, it's not only going to cut the tape, but it's also going to leave me a pattern for my scroll saw. So I'm just going to drill a hole in there and cut it out with a scroll saw, and I'm going to have my pattern. So it's already marked on the back. Here again, I'm just going to hog out most of the material with the drill press. That way the router bit's just going to buzz right through it without a problem. Now, in my head right now, I'm thinking, oh crap, I put that control cavity right where my angled walnut is. So now I have to make adjustments to the bit to go down in steps, and then I'll have to hog it all out with a chisel. I didn't plan that one out. Yeah, you want to make sure your drill is going slow with a Forster bit. You don't want to be going really fast with a Forster bit, or it'll stop every 3 seconds. Masking tape and super glue trick, gotta love it. Thanks, Ben. My sister felt sorry for me wearing with my safety glasses shades, so she went out and got me some clear glasses. And unfortunately, I could only go down about a half an inch. The rest is going to have to be taken off with a chisel. You're not going to see me drill the holes out. I lost the footage. But needless to say, it's a little thin in the middle hole, and it chipped out a little on me, so. But I was okay because it only chipped out with the pilot bit. So once I went up to size, I was able to round it out. That ledge there is to hold the back plate on. Something with this many angles, I'll probably end up using conductive paint on it. It'd be a pain in the butt to get the copper to conform to all these different shapes. I was so worried about making sure I didn't come through the top of the guitar that I damaged the edges. But then I got to thinking about it. I haven't even planned what I'm going to do with the back yet as far as shaping. There we go. Right here, I'm totally at a loss. I'm just grinding without a purpose. I have no plan. I'm just taking away material and hopefully something cool comes out of it. And the back plate is sunk in a little bit to give me room to grind if I needed to. And right about here is where I came up with the idea to just angle the edges and then put a belly carve in the middle. You know, because some of us, not saying me, but you know, some of us got a belly, so. That triangle is just to leave some of the meat on there for the neck pocket. But I think it looks pretty cool. I think what I'm going to end up doing is making another one a little smaller so it's thicker, and then just angle it all right into the back of the body. I think it'll look cool. Yeah, that's an old sanding disc, so it's burning all over the place. It's alright, I got a random orbit sander. So I'm constantly feeling the back and the sides and everything for bumps, any kind of imperfections, so I can go back and sand them out. Now I got 80 grit on here now. I'm just trying to get everything finalized as far as shape goes. So I went from the 40 grit grinding wheel to 80 grit sandpaper. Just think how much fun this would be if I didn't fast forward. Think I'm liking that shape. And what I'm doing with the pencil is just drawing, making lines on it, so I know that what I'm sanding is not so much flat, just on the same plane, because there's so many angles, there's so many dips and angles to this that nothing can be flat. I don't want anything flat. but I can at least get it all on the same plane. There it is. Not too shabby. Time to check the neck fit, see if we still fit over. Little tight, but not too bad. Better than being loose. Just marking out where my bridge piece is going because I'm about to sand the top. Oh yeah, right here is where I realized I didn't round off any of the corners. I wanted to do a test fit with my pickups and they wouldn't fit. If you're wondering where I got that mallet, I always bet. I had a buddy of mine, he bet me that I couldn't take this old chunk of firewood and make a tool out of it, so I grabbed it. It happened to be a walnut chunk, so I was like, hey, I'll make a chisel hammer. Had it for about 8 years now. Yeah, those aren't really safety glasses. Those are just old man glasses. It's getting harder to see. I'm sure you guys could relate to that look. Where the hell did that go? I just had it a couple seconds ago. Yeah, this is still 80 grit. I get to do all this fun again another 2 or 3 times. I'll save you guys the agony. Now this is the Celtic design for the Sapele sections. What I did is I cut it out with a razor, and then of course I lost that footage. After I cut it out with a razor, I taped it to the guitar itself, and then I traced it with a my X-Acto knife. All the lines with a pencil I went over with the X-Acto knife, and then I took the paper off and just followed all the lines. What I'm doing is I'm chiseling at like a 45-degree angle or so on both sides of the line away from the center to kind of get a rope effect. And then what I'll do is I'll go back with probably a Dremel or something and smooth it all out. Yeah, right here is where I busted through. I made that area just a little too thin. So I ended up busting through. So I'm being very ginger for all the other areas around it. It was fixable though. Thank God. Because the wood on the back, it didn't bust out. It just kind of broke away. So it was still there, so I was able to push it back in place where it goes, and then just flooded the whole area with super glue and let it dry. That's what it looks like, all roughed out. Needs a lot of finishing yet.
Well, just, hey, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm very excited about it. I think it came out really, really good. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Leave a bunch of comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what if you would have done anything different. It's always good to hear other people's opinions and such. And once I start finalizing that Celtic design, I'll keep you up to date on the little bust out I had. Hopefully it doesn't show its ugly face again. But as always, thank you again for watching. Thank you for liking. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like, share, hit the bell. Peace out.